Hello, everyone. This is Sharon from Hong Kong Baptist University Admissions Office, and today we are here to give you some financial tips for all the new coming students to HKBU. And we are very honored to have two of our students ambassadors, Kenneth and Marcelle, here today to share the financial tips for their life in HKBU based on their own personal experience. So now let me pass the time to Kenneth and Marcel, and then they can talks, and they can share their experience to you. And may I invite Kenneth to introduce yourself to everyone here.
Hi everyone, my name is Kenneth Vemery. You guys can call me Kenneth. I am a year one student and I'm studying the Bachelor of Science in Business Computing and Data Analytics. And I'm from Indonesia.
And
And
Marcel.
my name is Marcelle Karina Lamacho Valenzuela, but you can just call me Marcel. I'm a year two Bachelor of Social Work student in the Faculty of Arts and Social Science, and I come from the Dominican Republic in Latin America.
Okay, great. So thank you both of you to join to be the student ambassador to share your experience. So I have a first question for you both. Like to start your journey in HKBU, what should you prepare and what did you prepare?
Okay, so my first tip would be that when you guys already receive your visa, your student visa, I would suggest you guys to check the airlines that you're going to fly with if they have a student discount. And from there, you can actually buy the student discount. And when you actually arrive at the airport, usually the airport team will actually check if your student visa is valid. From then, you can actually get certain perks, for example, like a bigger luggage, a cheaper price, and many more.
All right, great. I think it's a very useful tips for students. So make sure that you get your student visa and then buy the student discount from the airline. It will be very useful to get a discount price. And how about do you get apply for the HAID before you come to Hong Kong?
Okay, so for HKID or the Hong Kong Identity Card is actually very important because it is technically equivalent to your passport. So before having your HKID, you have to always bring your passport everywhere you go. But with the HKID, you can always like bring your HKID. And I would certainly suggest you guys to apply for a Hong Kong ID card before you actually arrive to Hong Kong because I actually have friends who applied when they're already in Hong Kong. And we arrive at August, but they get their schedule on December, which is very long. Me personally, I applied before arriving in Hong Kong, and I actually got in like September 16. So it was only like 3 weeks after I arrived.
My case is the
Yeah.
same. It's the same situation. Yeah. I have a lot of friends who also they waited until the very last moment. They couldn't get a bank account. They could not get um like a lot of the discounts that are necessary. They could not do a lot of the process in school. In my case, I also applied like as I was in the boarding my plane, and I applied to an office that was a bit far away, but I arrived in Hong Kong August 16 and I got my scheduled visit to August 17.
So do both of you think that it's a very complicated process or is a very easy, straightforward process to get the Hong Kong ID card?
I think it's a very straightforward process, right?
Easy.
It's
Yeah, it's
very
very
easy.
easy. Yeah.
Okay, so make sure that you got the Hong Kong ID card so before you arrive and make your appointment earlier before you come to Hong Kong. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Anyone want to help us to share about the bank account?
Okay. For the bank account, I have my bank account with Hansing Bank. We have an ATM in the campus, so it's really easily accessible. And when branches of the actual bank, we have two that are nearby that I'll share you a map later in the thing. You can do an online appointment or you can just show up. I showed up because I didn't know how to do appointments. I I did not have my Hong Kong ID at that point, but I had a paper that said that I applied and I was waiting for my Hong Kong ID. and they did the process with my passport and that paper. And then they were like, okay, we will finalize the process when you have your Hong Kong ID. So took a little bit of time, but I think after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I got my ATM card and an account where I could put money and take out money. I could receive my scholarship there, and eventually just a lot of other perks in having a bank.
Okay, so Kenneth, can you share your experience to us? Like, how do you open the Hong Kong bank account?
Okay, so technically, I actually have a similar experience with Marcel. So I actually did not know that I need to make an online appointment. So then I just did a walk-in. So I'm now currently using HSBC. And if you just do a walk-in and then just take a number and then tell the staff, hey, I want to open a bank account. And the staff will be really helpful. They will guide you step by step, help you through the process. Because like as as I remember, you actually need to do the online application and they will do it for you. So it's a very easy 30-minute process max.
Yeah, they like their staff at the gate that receives you. I was like, okay, what do you want to do? They give you a number and then they sit down and they're like filling up everything and they're like, okay, can I have your passport? How long have you been in Hong Kong?
Okay.
So nice. That's it.
All right. This is a great tips. And for anyone who have questions, just type in your questions in the Q&A box and then we'll answer it after the whole sessions. Okay, let's go to the next one. So tips for applying for a student's octopus card.
Okay, so applying for a student octopus card is very, very important, especially with like a really good public transport system. You will need to use your octopus. And if you can see in the image down below, you can see the MTR standard class fare. If you can see, if we just use a normal octopus, it would charge us around 7.4. But if we have a student octopus, we actually get a student discount and we only need to pay 50% of the original fee. And to apply for the MTR student travel scheme is actually very easy. You just need to go online, search it up, MTR student travel scheme or student octopus. And usually the first link from that Google gives is the online application. And it typically takes around two to 3 weeks to actually receive your student octopus. And then from then on, don't forget to activate your card.
Okay.
Because the problem on my end is that I didn't know that we had to activate our student octopus. So when I tried to top it up or try to use it, it says access denied. So then I complained to the MTR and they actually had to send me a
Oh,
new card. And then I finally figured it out myself that I need to activate it in order to use it. So I
oh
spent
my
around
God.
1 to 2 months
Mm.
paying the full price. Yeah.
No, same. In my case, like when
Mm.
I got my student octopus, I first of all, it came with my family, so we bought the octopus, the normal octopuses. You have to pay 200 Hong Kong dollars for those. And like when I got this, I applied online, I did all the whole thing. It was like, wow, it's so $20 in that student octopus lasted me for 2 weeks. It was amazing. But I do need to like remind people because in my case, it surprised me. The student octopus, you need to renew it every single year in October. And I did not know this. So like when I was like trying to tap in October, starting my second year, I was like, why am I paying full price? Huh? And also now this discount applies only for the MTR. But if you want to take buses, our school has a little machine where you can tap your student octopus and it will give you a $2 discount on any bus that you might take.
All right.
Sharon,
Yes.
I think I want to explain more about the octopus
Okay.
because based on my knowledge, an octopus card should only cost $50 because an octopus card can actually go to -50 and for Marcel's case, $200 is so you get $150 in your balance. So technically that $200 will not go anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you both for sharing these tips. So remember when you get the student octopus card, remember to activate them before using. Otherwise, you will be paying the full amount of the fare. Okay, that's a great tips. And now let's move on to the next tips. All right, I have a questions for you, Marcelle. Like how much money should the new students bring when they come to Hong Kong?
Guys, when you arrive here, don't be shocked that your expenses are high. You're literally moving in to a new country, to a new place. So like expenses will be high. In my case, because I was anticipating these things, my family came with 4 luggages, in which we brought a lot of things like bed sheets. If you can bring like adapters for your things so you can charge. Um, we brought some spices because I miss home food, bring cinnamon. Cinnamon was really expensive here. And then whatever I needed to get by here, it was everything initially with cash. I don't have an international travel card, like a credit card or a debit card. So in my case, I had to survive with like cash only. Thankfully, I had my parents, so my personal ATMs. But I do recommend that you bring some cash because you will be arriving in August. You will be checking in at the earliest in August 20th. And then if you have a scholarship, that money will not arrive until September, maybe October. So you need enough money to last for you. I would recommend, in my case, I bought USD because my currency in this side of the world does not exist. And I brought like 500 to 600 USD, and that lasted 2 months. And I know you can stretch it a bit more.
Okay. So how do you do the currency exchange in Hong Kong?
No, yeah. In my case, like with USD, it's very easy. There's USD everywhere. In my case, we had part of the money we exchanged in the airport because we needed a few to get by, and then the rest we waited until we found like exchange house outside of the airport because typically they have a better rate, and it was good. It was better.
All right. So how about Kenneth? How much money do you bring when you come to Hong Kong?
Well, I actually brought cash and I actually brought like international credit cards or debit cards. So I think in total I actually like brought around 10,000 Hong Kong dollars because I was anticipating around 3 months. And I think I brought around 4,000 Hong Kong dollars in cash, and the rest is through credit card, yeah. Credit or debit card.
Okay, great. And here you can see on the screens there are the money notes in Hong Kong. Can any one of you can help us like to help telling the tips for using what kind of payment method in Hong Kong is the usual one?
People will accept cash.
Mm.
However, sometimes you will get annoyed looks by the store clerks because it's like, why are you bringing me cash? I think after you get your student octopus, that is the preferred method for a lot of places. You just put your money in your octopus and you tap, 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 tap. In some other settings, when you get a bank account, you will get the option to do a fast paced payment system, FPS, and you could just directly transfer to the account of anyone that has another local account in Hong Kong and like really quickly. So I think those two are the most common and most preferred methods of payment if you don't have a card as well. And also Apple Pay.
Yeah, so I believe like when you're living in Hong Kong, it's very convenient when you use any kind of the payment method. It's all acceptable. Okay, let's move on to the next tips right now. Okay, Marcelle, what else should you prepare when you come to Hong Kong when you are doing your financial planning? How do you do it?
look at this. I am begging. Get a budget app, get a financial planner. In my case, like my dad did a little Excel that was just with the dates and the possible expenses that I could have so that I could log in everything that I was spending. So even if I didn't have a budget yet, because I'm still getting used to things, I can see how much I'm spending. And I did that with that. That was my planner. And then I had a budget app in which I would be like, okay, I cannot spend more than $100 on food, on like this, on that, this and that. And those are the best investments you can do. This day and age, I bought a planner from like a financial influencer that is a lot more complete. Best, best $8 ever spent. And you need to input your baseline. You need to know what you're coming with. In my case, I knew that I had 500 USD cash. That's it. And I needed to, like, from there, I need to work out when I got my scholarship. Okay, what do I have? What am I gonna put to savings? What am I gonna put to food, etc., etc. And of course, talk it out with your family. Like there's some families that are able to like send you money every month. In my case, my family cannot. So I have to make do with what I have. And if they can, they will see how to help me. But you need to be very strict with what you're doing and use it. That's the most thing. You can have it installed on your phone, but you need to use it religiously. That's your new God.
All right, these are the great advice from Marcelle. So after all the tips, I'm actually very curious. Um, what are the tips when you're in Hong Kong? But first, I want to know how much do you both actually spend when you are in Hong Kong? So how about Kenneth, can you share with us?
Okay, so this is our spendings per month. And mind you, that we both, me and Marcel, we both like to eat out. We rarely cook. That's why our spendings can be a little bit can be a little bit higher.
Liar.
Liar. No, 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 no. So me personally, I like to eat out. I rarely cook. And even if I cook, I will only cook maybe like once a week or even once every 2 weeks. That's why food eats 66% of my budget. Yeah. So I spend around 3,600 Hong Kong dollars per month. And it actually like lets me survive with like what around $100 per day. And that's actually still manageable. So how about you, Marcel?
Well, actually, I cook a lot. Excuse you. It's just that, like, in my case, these are my numbers for 2025 because in that case, I have the entire year from January to December. I cook a lot, but I am also a person that I like going out with my friends. I have a very active social life, and I also work outside of campus quite a lot. That's why my transportation expense is a bit more than Kenneth. And sometimes when you're outside, you get hungry. So you gotta eat. You gotta eat. Don't even if it's out of your budget, don't deprive yourself from eating. That's the most important thing. Eat.
Okay, so just one tips or one reminder for all of you here. Monthly expense actually varies based on different students per their own personal styles. So we have students like from last year, they shared to us that their personal expense from monthly personal expense will be around 2,000 Hong Kong dollars. So it will be a range for you just as a reference. And then do you have any tips for them when they go out? Kenneth?
Okay, so one of the most important tip as a university student is always abuse your student discounts. So some places, like whether it's leisure, eating out, or going to different places, student ID cards are very important. Let's just say like if you're going to the cinemas, most cinemas in Hong Kong actually offer student discount, which can actually cut half the price of the movie tickets. And some restaurants actually also give student discounts, for example, like 30% off or 50% off if you show your student ID card. So it's very important to always bring your student ID card everywhere you go.
All right, great tips. And how about when you buy your daily goods? Marcelle, can you share some tips?
Even though I brought half my house with me when I came to Hong Kong, there's still some things that you can't like kind of bring. Um, Specifically like hangers, cooking supplies, pillows and duvets, your comforter. I get cold, so get it. Cleaning supplies, toiletries, toilet paper, these things, you need to get them usually here. It's good if you can meet your roommate or after orientation, you can like get some of this stuff together and it will be a bit cheaper sometimes. But in any case, there are a lot of stores near the school where it's a bit more affordable and you can like get really good deals. We can talk about that later. But also in school, there's also a lot of initiatives to try and help new students to save money. My friends this semester started the like a rehome project. Just basically they're grabbing things from the moving out students, exchange students that they bought, like a lot of clothes, bedding, kitchen appliances, and they will clean them and they will be giving them away for free for all of you guys. So it's you have a lot of options to not save that much, to not spend that much money in moving in. Because I know I did. I spent at least I think twice of what I spent now. So
Mm,
it's really good.
okay. So how about clothing? We want to keep talking about the tips?
Yeah, because I'm very tall. I'm almost 180 in height. So for me, clothing was a really important thing. I also come from a very warm place. So I knew that in Hong Kong, there's a winter. So needed to bring a lot of things. Bring a lot of things from home. That's like the best thing that you can do. You have your clothes already that you like, bring them your jeans, jackets, especially if you know your size is hard to find. Shoes, impossible, impossible. So just bring them from home. Um, and if you have to buy stuff in Hong Kong, umbrellas because it rains quite a lot, like something for like to cover your luggage or to cover your bag. Um, Winter wear, I would say that if you can bring it from home, you can do, but Hong Kong has a really big a range of like clothing that you can get. And in school, we have an activity that's like the suit switcher. Basically, every semester, this event during the career fair, you get to get women's and men's suits, blazers, shirts, pants, skirts, uh, and shoes. I personally got two pairs of shoes completely for free from this event. So it's like, it's really, really good. And you can also donate your stuff once they don't like fit anymore because your body will change. So you can keep on this cycle of, okay, I get rid of what's not working anymore and I get something that's better for me.
Great. And how about food? Ken, if you want to share some tips on food.
Sure. So there's actually like three options for food. Of course, the canteen, restaurant or eating out, and of course cooking. So HKBU canteens actually offer a wide range of prices, starting from $30 to $70 per meal, while eating outside can cost an average of 60 to 150, depending if you want to eat a full set meal with a drink or something like that. And cooking can actually save you like up to like 1,000 Hong Kong dollars per month. So this is actually based on my friends. It's not based on my personal experience. Because as I said before, I like to eat out more often. And for those of you who needs to eat halal food, there are some canteens that offer halal cuisines, but it is of course highly recommended for you to cook by yourself. So if you actually need to buy like these raw materials for you to cook, those are the link down below. I got it from my friends who actually needs to eat halal food.
For the halal food, there's a new service that's starting out right now in which they deliver like homemade meals to you. That's where I get my biryani. So like there's a lot of options for halal food and there's a lot of veggie and vegetarian options on the canteens as well. So you can find your middle.
So you don't have to actually worry about the food options and how you spend your money on food when you're talking about coming to Hong Kong to live and to studies. So, all right, Marcelle, can you just share where do you get your food nearby the campus?
Geography, guys. You don't have a car anymore. You'll be carrying big bags with food and with things that are heavy. So within walking distance, these are the two most important places that you need to know. Festival Walk, which is in the Kowloon Tong MTR station, and Lok Fu Place in the Lok Fu MTR station. They're both within 10, Festival Walk is like 10 minutes. Lok Fu is a bit more uphill, so it's like 15-minute walk. In Festival Walk, you can get your international and
Supermarkets.
allergy safe food. If you're celiac, if you have like an intolerance to particular like ingredients, Festival Walk. Lok Fu is for cheap. You can get anything in Lok Fu. There's a bunch of supermarkets, a bunch of different stores, and you can get a lot of food for cheap. Both of them also have food courts that some of them offer like student discounts as well. So you have quite a lot of options if you are tired of like HKBU food. And then the part in blue is just the dorms. So you can kind of see them in the map. A lot of people when they came here, myself included, did not know of the existence of Lok Fu because usually when you come to here, the Google Maps and everything will tell you to come from Kowloon Tong, from Festival Walk. So because it's a bit more expensive, you will like save a lot of money if you know about Lok Fu a bit earlier and take some time to maybe by yourself or with your friends to work out the route or to check out the place because you will get lost. Lok Fu is a maze, but there's a lot of things and places there. Also, the things that I mentioned previously, like the hangers, the food organizers, the pillows, and the things you can find in these two places.
Okay, how about the leisure options? Kenneth, can you share some of your tips to how
Sure,
you spend your time in Hong Kong for the entertainment and also the leisure activities?
sure. So when you guys hear Hong Kong and leisure, of course you guys will always think maybe like Ocean Park, Hong Kong Disneyland, but you guys forget that Hong Kong actually offers so many free leisure activities. Uh, Near our campus, you can actually see Lion Rock, and that's actually a place where some students or many people go hiking. And you can actually just walk through the harbor at night, and it actually offers a very beautiful view. Then you can even go to the beach or go to parks because HKBU is actually located very near between like a few parks. And of course, don't forget to join free activities offered by HKBU, like the International Association, hall events or activities, and some field trips.
All right. Kenneth, can you share, like, do you join any hall activities before, like in the first year?
The hall activities that I joined are mostly like bonding, like cooking. So we don't really go out, but we actually do like culinary activities in our dorms. So yeah.
All right, great. So how about Marcel? Can you share some of the tips for how you spend your time in Hong Kong?
In my country, we have a word that's like andariega. That is just, I'm a person who likes to go out a lot, especially with friends. As you can see, most of these pictures I'm not alone. There's a lot of events that the school does that are either free or low cost. Here in the bottom picture, there's like me and my boyfriend at the prom. It's like a prom that the International Association does every year. It's very interesting. There's a cultural like night where like every single nationality group kind of does like a stall with food, with music, with dancing. It's really fun. I organized a picnic with a lot of my friends. We go out. But also here, there's a lot of studios with like workout classes, Pilates, dance classes that you can go to like a trial class for free or for really cheap. And I like to join those and just like go out and work out for no reason. And there's a lot of, if you're a girl, so it's very cheap or sometimes free to go to a lot of clubs and parties, especially Latino parties. Highly recommend Bollywood parties. So like it's really Hong Kong is really fun. There's always something going on, both on campus and off campus.
Okay, so on top of this, just wondering, do you both use the gym room on campus? It's
Oh
free.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, no, no. Don't pay like a gym membership. Ew. I'm saying like, oh, I wanna do like a K-pop dance class and there's a free trial in some place. Do it. But if you wanna actively work out, the school has not one, not two, three gyms. So use them and you will get your daily fix. There's a lot of things that you may have to pay outside, but the school already offers them. You're paying a lot of money to be here, so use the facilities.
All right. And uh, after all the tips I, about how you spend your money and wisely, but I want to know, like, how do you earn money? Do you actually earn money when you are in Hong Kong? Marcelle, can you share the ways to earn money?
Okay, so basically, there's a lot of ways to earn money both in Hong Kong and the university. When I came, we were not allowed to work during the semester, but that has since changed. So you guys are very lucky. Um, However, don't focus too much on spending money. Remember that academics are still your first priority, especially if you have a scholarship. Don't don't get too tempted. Don't be like me. I work a lot of jobs. I have like student helper jobs are very abundant in the university. Most people will apply for a student helper job on the BU Hub. It's like a little website from the university where you can find student helper jobs. So you can also find summer jobs and internships that you can really do a bunch of things with a range of different pays for a range of different majors and periods of time. Once you get a student helper job, you try to like get some interaction with the people there. If you do a good job, it's likely that they can contact you again to do a lot more jobs. That's why I'm here today. And that's like some of the things that will help you in the future so you don't have to like constantly be applying. Summer jobs, I haven't done any myself, but I know some friends that have done summer jobs as a research assistant that have helped like worked in different organizations in Hong Kong or like found a part-time job during the semester and then that turned into a full-time summer job. Um, on the campus, we have like coffee, Pacific Coffee. You can work in as a barista there. You can work. Kenneth has some like stuff with the library that he can tell you about and scholarships. That's an endless topic, but like you can get if you don't get an admission scholarship or even if you do, throughout the semester, throughout the years, there are different scholarship opportunities that will open up for everybody. And if you qualify, you can apply and you can get varying sums of money.
So Kenneth, can you like share the experience that you are with the language centers, I think?
Oh,
Yeah.
uh, so let's just start with the student helper job.
All right.
So the other day, I actually applied to become a student helper, and I actually work for the admissions office, and I actually pay a really a decent amount to actually cover my weekly expenses, my monthly expenses. So it's a very good opportunity for us to like gain experiences, work with other people with different backgrounds, while also earning money to like support our daily necessities. And for the student helper, for the language center job, I wouldn't say that that's a paid thing, actually.
All
I think,
right.
yeah, that was just like some sort of an internship. Yeah.
Okay. But like, what was the first job you did with the admissions office?
It was for the Edu Fair, the
Information
Hong Kong.
day.
Yeah, Information Day,
All right.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a very fun experience. I get to talk with locals and internationals, so it was an amazing experience.
So
well, that's really good.
do you remember how much do you get from the events job?
So the range of pay that you get is around $80 an hour, and I think that's a very okay pay because
I want
I've
that.
asked, yeah, it's very good because I asked most of my local friends, and they say that if I actually work outside of campus, they only get around $55 or $60 an hour. So
Yeah,
it's a very competitive,
minimum
yeah,
wage. Yeah,
BU
but
offers a
working
very
campus,
competitive pay.
working campus, it's like the best thing ever. I worked as like a research helper with one of my professors. I worked as a marketing assistant. I work as a research participant. I've done a lot of research. Like I think a lot of data. I have stained a lot of data in this university. I worked as an MC. The list goes on.
Keep talking, like, what do you do? What do you work? But like over, so how about
I also do.
all the jobs that you just mentioned? How much money do you actually earn?
I
Like on a
think
year
it
basis, maybe.
yearly. That's like too many high numbers. I'm not a mathematician, but weekly, I know that I also do tutoring. I do modeling on the side. On top of all of that, that's why I'm telling you, don't be like me. Don't. But I think weekly, no, monthly, I can earn like,
All right.
if I work a lot, you can earn like $2,000 a month. That's
Mm-hmm.
like when like a really, really busy month.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on average, it's like $400 to $800 a month if
So,
you work quite a lot of things and quite a lot of hours. But
mm,
in the student helper jobs on campus, you may only work up to 12 hours per week. And there's a
mm-hmm.
system where you need to log in your hours. So don't be greedy.
So which is here, and these are the like careers approach from HKBU. So can you like share some experience? How do you find your on-campus job?
For on-campus jobs, you'll actually get spammed quite a lot through the emails.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are lazy to read your emails and you want like a platform to check it all out, you can always visit the BU Hub. They will always have uh jobs open, job openings for student helper.
I, although you may be lazy to check your emails, I will highly encourage you, if not beat the knowledge in you, that check your emails. I came to Chicago. I am currently in Chicago. I did not check my email for 3 days, and I had 122 emails. Most of them for the career center being like, hey, you want a job? So there's always something there. There's always things. You can also check BU Hub, like it has some different stuff, but things get directly sent into your email. You can get a part-time job, a student helper job, a summer job, a full-on internship, international internships, all in your inbox. So read your email. Best thing ever.
All right. So thank you both for sharing the useful tips for our new students. And I hope everyone can really learn from today's webinar sessions. So I've seen quite a few questions from the Q&A box. So I actually want to go back to the Hong Kong ID card one because quite a few was missing for how to apply for the Hong Kong ID card. So here's is the QR code. And actually, when you scan it, you can be directed to the Hong Kong government website. And here is the system that where you can apply for your HKID. So this is just something that I really want to go back to. And regarding other questions for both of you, like when you are having your international visa card, so so do you use them or you just wait for your Hong Kong Visa cards or MasterCards to come to spend your money in the Hong Kong dollars? Like, do you use the international card when you first come to Hong Kong?
For
Like, I
me
think,
for me
yeah.
personally, I actually, as I mentioned before, I brought cash and card.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for like daily expenses, for example, like food, topping up my octopus, back then I used my cash. But for making like large purchases, for example, like when I had to like buy pillows, beddings, and all those stuff, I actually used my card. But it is still highly recommended for you guys to open a Hong Kong bank account. So whenever you go out with your friends, for example, you go to a restaurant, some restaurants won't like allow you to split bills. And with the Hong Kong bank account, as what Marcella has mentioned before, the FPS system, fast payment system, yeah. You guys can directly just transfer the money to your friends. It really eases when you're like going out with your friends. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I also see some questions are about the admissions, and which after these sessions, I will be sending you the recording for the whole webinar, and then you can get our email address and then ask us about the admissions requirement and stuff. So I would just want to focus everything about the financial tips here for this webinar today. Okay, so I just got an other questions about HAID appointment. So may I know if I should book for HAID appointment now or only after I get my visa? Can we book the exact day for Hong Kong ID or will it be an appointment on a random day? So,
I would say get your visa first because your visa is your guarantee for like everything coming here. But then when you're booking, you get to choose both the location and the day and the hour. Like you get to choose everything. It's very up to you. But get your visa first for everything, for applying to your Hong Kong ID, for your like starting to make plans, like where you're gonna go, what you're gonna do, visa first.
and even just one more tips, get your visa first. So after you got your visa, then you can plan your flight. But don't buy anything unless you get your visa. So it will be maybe a waste of money. But I will guarantee that everyone of us from the admissions office will help you will guide you through the whole visa process. So no worries about applying for the student's visa if you still haven't applied yet. So we got quite a few more questions. Okay, so Kenneth, I just want to ask a questions for you. So do you bring your own laptop here? And do you bring your own stationaries when you come to BU?
Okay, so for stationaries, I think I bring only some, like at least one pen, one eraser, one one pencil. But like the other things that I need, I will buy everything in Hong Kong because there's actually some like stationery shops near campus. Like in Lok Fu, there's actually one stationery shop. And like in our Frankie Center, there's actually another stationery shop. And as for a laptop or like any gadgets, I bought everything in Hong Kong because as we mentioned before, student ID card is very important because you can get a lot of student discounts. And HKBU actually offers this like student program where you can actually buy your laptops, buy your iPads, buy any type of devices. And Apple actually gives really good student discounts too.
So Marcel, do you bring your own laptop here or you brought it here?
I'm a frugal person. No, I'm not, but I did bring my laptop. I did bring some like notebooks and pens and paper because I'm like that, but it's totally not a necessity. The moment they ran out, I've been like buying them also from like Look Through or in Festival Walk if I want higher quality ones. Um, the on campus, there's also a lot for really cheap price. So it's just very quick. Like, I run out of my pen in the middle of class. I run out, I buy it, I come back. I've had the same laptop since 2021. That is 3 years before I got into uni. So I would totally recommend if you have a laptop already or you have an iPad, keep it, use it until the end of its life, and then you can like if you I really need to buy one here, you have a lot of discounts to do it.
Okay, we got other questions about octopus card. So do you both can read the questions? The octopus card one. Do you want to answer?
The student card process, it's online. It's all online. You can do it as soon as you get your Hong Kong ID. So if you are able to do your Hong Kong ID appointment early and then apply for your student octopus, you will get it very soon. Maximum 4 or 5 weeks after you arrive to Hong Kong. The MTR here is very, very like modern. So you can, if you have a like a credit card or a debit card, like an international card, you can use your card to like do the normal
Tap.
processes.
Yeah.
You can just tap.
Yeah.
If you have the cash, you can also buy like one-way tickets. It's a bit more expensive, yes.
Okay, so I also see questions about accommodations. So no worries about the accommodations because we will have other sessions in July talking about how do you do your application for on-campus accommodations in Hong Kong. So I will leave this part to the sessions in July. And of course, when you check your email, I will be sure that you will be receiving tons of email starting in June and July. Then you will be having a lot of information on how do you prepare yourself to come to HKBU. And I also got a very great questions here, like how can you concentrate on your education while you are doing the part-time jobs? I think these questions may go to Marcelle. So I think this is a good questions to answer.
So, basically, my major is very heavily essay based. So with everything that I do, I have a lot of time for planning and for actually doing the things rather than like everything concentrating in exams. So for my, this is why I keep not recommending you guys to be like me. Don't get that many part-time jobs. You definitely don't need it. But I try to time manage a lot. I keep my a physical like booklet where I write every single thing that I have to do. And also I have a lot of reminders. Plus, I get this lovely thing that since I've done a couple of student helper jobs since my first year, at this point I know the staff and when I have like stuff to do, like we can talk out like, okay, I have to do this job by this deadline. What can we do? I have this other thing, like how to fix it. People here are extremely nice and they're always willing to help. So I try to communicate when I have educational needs. I do my jobs, but if I have an academic deadline first, I will cancel that and I will focus on my academics.
That's a great
Time
tip.
management. Time
Remember,
management.
yeah, remember when you come to HKBU, your first priority is always studying because you're a student, remember? So this is a very good explanations from Marcel as well. Just make sure you put academic education on the first priority. Okay, anyway, thank you both of you for sharing your tips for our new students today. And if anyone wants to connect with Kenneth or Marcel, we are very happy to help. And please write us an email and then we will help you to connect with both of them right away. So again, thank you so much for having both of you here today. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to write to us. We are really happy to support you throughout the whole journey. And the recording will be shared to you once it is ready. And it's time to wrap up the sessions. So bye bye, everyone. And bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.